So what's your story? You ever notice that we're fascinated by telling the stories of people's lives? Right now in America, everybody's either watching Michael Jordan's Last Dance or The Tiger King. We're fascinated by the stories of other people's lives, sometimes because they're heroic. Sometimes they've gone down the wrong path, but either way, we love to talk about them. Those stories lead us to the greatest inspirations of our lives. Those stories also lead us to the worst gossip. But either way, we're telling stories. And I wonder if we turned it on ourselves, what would be the story that would be told about our lives? This week, the church is going to tell the story of 5 different saints. And why do we tell the stories of saints in our church? No, the Catholic Church does not worship saints. No, the saints do not replace God. No, their intercession is not absolutely necessary for our salvation. No. The reason that our church tells the story of the saints is because they're so much like us. They were sinners. And because they were sinners, we find inspiration on how they got to be where they are, how they got to live in God's presence forever. And so we look at their lives and we wonder, how did they change something about their life? How did they turn away from their sin and live that new perspective, that new reality? Well, one of my favorite definitions of the saints is just someone who started one day to say yes to God and then never stopped. They said yes to God every single day, and they just took it one day at a time. So for all of us who have said at some point in our life, there's no way that I can be a saint is just someone who just takes it day by day, who turns away from their sin, who lives that new perspective, who gives their life to God and just says yes to him one day and then just never stops. That's the path to sainthood. That's the heroic witness, the heroic example. So this week, I'm going to be telling the stories of the lives of those saints who the church honors this week. Maybe just bringing about just one aspect of their life that might inspire us to live a greater heroic virtue. They might give us a witness of how we can overcome some obstacle in our life so that we may live more fully for Jesus. But as I tell those stories, I just invite you to reflect on your own life. And what is that story that's going to be told about you? If someone were telling our story, it may have been a different story in the past, for better or for worse. It may be a different story that they tell about our present, right now, how we're living. What would they say about us? And maybe most importantly, what will they say about our future? The beauty of the lives of the saints, including ourselves, who are desiring to be saints, is that we are in control of that. We are in control of today saying yes and saying yes for the rest of our lives. That's what I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how we're going to live, how we're going to live through this pandemic, how we're going to be those inspirational stories that people will look back upon. Today, I invite you to say yes to Jesus. And I'm going to pray for you as we do this together so that we can say yes together for the rest of our lives.